Hello, gang. Professor McElroy here, Packaging Design, March 2022, section GRA 3119. I'm starting this recording a little bit early tonight because everyone but one student has submitted their week 3 learning module 3 mini assignments already. So really great job on that. I did critique and comment on a couple of the submissions that I would like you to address a couple of the topics, a couple of the issues that I noticed in the submissions that you can update, adjust, and then resubmit, and that'll be perfectly fine. I just want to make sure that we're really truly getting a grasp of each one of these container projects, that we truly understand what the template is telling us and what the most professional and effective way of communicating in that template is. So if I made a comment or critique in your project, please feel free to make the adjustments and resubmit your assignment. Also remember that in the announcement section, I've been posting student samples, just some things that I thought were pretty cool, things like the crayon box container, the juice container. This is really well done by one of your classmates. Uh, Use those as inspiration, maybe give you a little guidance through the process, just to continue to push the envelope of how we understand packaging design, what it is, how we best communicate it, and what the design solutions are. So for this lecture, I just want to spend a couple of minutes just hitting on a couple of the topics, take a look at the project real quick, and see the solutions, talk through the template just a little bit, and talk about resources. Everyone's doing really well in the course. I think everyone but one student is up through Learning Module 3 and has submitted at least one attempt for critique of each one of our mini projects. So everyone is up to speed, everyone is doing well. If you aren't up to speed, please make sure that you get up to speed a little sooner rather than later. Everyone in the class is doing really well. I mean, we've got a really good cohort here, so I'm very happy with that. So the very first template for this week's assignments was the shoe stand, the point of purchase design, and you'll actually see it right here. This is actually one of the students' designs. They did the template flat for me as a PDF, and then they made a 3D interpretation of their design. Here's another student sample, and you can actually see the shoe was cut out and put on the little stand like this. Now, with that being said, make sure that you're not giving me just the 3D rendering. I need to see the template as a flat PDF or a flat image so I can make sure that you have the appropriate elements in the appropriate places when you're building your point of purchase stand. So just make sure that you're not giving me just the 3D. Make sure that you're opening up the template and giving me the actual flattened design as well, because that's important. You have to understand what this looks like as a flat design before it's built into a 3D design. So just kind of be aware of that as we're kind of navigating through this packaging design. I had some really good student submissions for this one. I was very happy with the designs. It's a simple point of purchase kind of stand, right? It just folds, has a little thing here, folds down, and then it has basically a front and back to this, but you could have an image on the front and the back. And remember, if someone's behind this stand, you need to be able to see the logo on the front and somewhere on the back. So the logo should be in minimum in 2 places, right? So that you have branding even when the person is behind the point of purchase display. It's not just a front-sided thing. The template actually has the backside to this nameplate, what we call the nameplate on the backside of the point of purchase stand. So just make sure that you're giving me both the flattened 2D version and also, if you would like to, the end product visualization is a 3D mock-up like this. This is portfolio quality. This is what you need for your portfolio. For the class itself, the flattened 2D version of the template is perfectly fine, but most students do take it one step further and mock it up in a 3D, which is what these 2 students did. I think they did a really good job with it. So, okay, so that brings us through the point of purchase design. So let's go over to the Q project. And this is a really fun one because it's a box. It's a standard box template. I call it the Rubik's Cube project because that's what everyone thinks of when they see this packaging design, right? Everybody thinks of that. But it could be anything in a cube, honestly. If you wanted to do a magic 8-ball or you wanted to do something else that was round, you could put it inside of this container box that we have. It's just an opportunity to play with a box container shape. So this is a standard box, right? It folds right around itself. Here's the glue tab. These two fold to the side, glue tab, glue tab, glue tab. Very simple box square shape. Have fun with it. Use patterns, use lines, use squares, use triangles, use circles. I always think it's fun to use circles in a square environment. So this is just happens to be one solution. This just happens to be kind of a funky box image, but the sky is the limit for what you do with the square container, right? Just have fun with it. Remember, there does need to be branding of some kind. This is a packaging design class. So patterns are great for the box. Using color is great for the box. Making elements wrap from one side to the next is great for a box. Very simple project. There can't be an easier container than a square box container. But remember, you should have some branding on it, even if it's just letters, numbers, and symbols. There should be something that marks the front face of it or the top of it, right? You need to be able to tell people what it is and where you're opening it from. Fun project, though. I like the container box project. So just like the crayon box, have fun with the shape, play around with it. It's not a hard thing. The first two are very simple. The shoe stand, the point of purchase stand, simple concept, only a couple of sides to it. You just got to understand the folding pattern of the container. Project 7, the cube project, another very simple project. If you go to the toy store, you go down the Target aisle in the food or in pretty much any of the aisles in Target that sells things in a container, you will see a box container like this. Everything gets stuck into a box of some kind. And sometimes it's square, just like the template that I provided. So there's inspiration around every corner. It could be a box that holds coffee or tea, anything that you can think of that could be in a square shape. It could even be cookies, crackers, or chips. Those go into containers as well. Granola bars, peanuts, anything that has a lid, a top that opens up, and has a box container shape. If you want to take it one step further, it would be fun to have a die cut or a die window in it somewhere, like the crayon box did from last month, if you want to take it one step further. So just know that the point of purchase and the cube projects are very simple and very straightforward. There is not a lot of complexity to them. But when we go to the juice carton, that's where we get a little bit more complex of a design. And you can see a really beautiful one here, right? It's got the folds, it's got the top tab, it's got the sides, it has distinct branding on 2 of the sides. One smaller panel is nutritional, and the other small panel is facts or interesting anecdotal objects about the project. So let's go ahead and open up the old orange juice container. The orange juice container could hold water, it could hold juice, it could hold coffee, it could hold soda, it could hold water. But just know, looking at this template, that these little triangles right here, and I'm going to scroll, are the triangles in here, right? It folds and touches at the top. So you see these little tabs right here, these tabs, these are the top piece right up here. The triangles, the side piece where it tucks, which means this is a main surface area and this is a main surface area on the angle. So it's this angle and that back angle. Very important for branding. And then you have your primary panels. So this panel And this panel is all about the product. So right here, it says orange juice, says pure, has the trees, has the drop. This side right here is this side. You'll notice that it's replicated again on the other side. So these two main panels of the orange juice container, this one and this one, are the branding of the liquid in the container. This side is for nutritional facts, the thinner panel. The other thinner panel is an info panel, infographics panel, which you'll notice on this one, it's all about facts about the product. Maybe it's recyclable and eco-friendly and made from 70% real fruit juice, and there's no additives, and it was only created in an organic environment. Whatever those facts are about the product. Nutrition on one side panel, facts or anecdotal interesting things on the other side of the panel. You might remember from the old milk days, it was nutritional facts on this skinny panel, and it was a missing persons ad on the other side of the skinny panel. This skinny panel over here, after you do the nutritional facts here, it could be a coloring book if you wanted it to be, a little graphic the kids color in. It could be an action figure advertisement. It could be a playing card. It could be a crossword. It could be a maze. It could be any number of things. Traditionally, it's facts or anecdotal information about the product, just fun things, right? It's kind of like when you open up a candy and it is in a wrapper and you untwist the wrapper and you open it up and there's a fun fact inside the wrapper, or you open up a drink and you flip the lid over and there's a fun fact inside the lid. This panel traditionally is a fun fact panel. The other side panel is a nutritional facts panel. Nutritional facts, scan bar, information, contact information, copyright. So big branding panel, big branding panel. Nutritional facts, scan bar, copyright, contact information, web address, social media. This panel, secondary side skinny panel, fun facts panel, or a game or a puzzle or a trading card or a toy advertisement. Sometimes you'll see movie advertisements if it's really big, like Spider-Man or something like that. If this was, let's say, a gummies container, the gummies container would have a little Spider-Man ad over on this side of the panel. So everyone should feel comfortable now, at least with the layout of this thing. Now, that covers our 3 mini projects for the week. So now that we know the 3 mini projects, like I said, everyone but one student has completed them already, which is awesome, because I always get a little bit nervous on a Thursday that we only have the long weekend to really start diving into our projects. So thank you so much for starting a little bit early in the week on each one of your assignments, really kind of getting started and getting going. Now, that brings us to just a refresher on where you can get resources when you're working on your projects, right? Not everyone takes photos, not everyone can draw, not everyone really feels comfortable in some of those elements. This packaging design class is all about composing a design solution that works effectively in the packaging template, understanding folds, understanding bleed lines, understanding safety areas, understanding die cuts, understanding the template process for packaging design. But that doesn't mean you have to, and in some cases it's perfectly fine to go out and grab some resources to build your packaging solution. So I don't know if any of you guys have ever used Pexels or Pexels before, but this is, take a look, it's free photos and videos. So let's say the container project that we're working on for our last container, this thing. Let's say it maybe is orange juice. Maybe you're making your own brand of orange juice. So let's just type in oranges and look at all of the beautiful images of oranges. It's perfectly fine to grab a beautiful photo of oranges like this, download it to your computer and use it as a graphic in your packaging design. What if I just type in orange burst? Let's see if we get anything. Look at the splashes of orange color. Look at the inside of the orange peel. Look at these beautiful images. As part of my packaging design for my orange juice container, if I was doing oranges, right? Even if you just do orange background. Look at all the beautiful textures that we have here. Packaging design is all about understanding the packaging, understanding the panels, understanding the sides, and making the most out of each panel independently and the panels as a whole package, right? Taking elements, wrapping them across multiple panels. So it is fine if you go to a place like Pexels.com and download some photos that support your concept that you're trying to create. So I don't know, maybe they have a Rubik's Cube. Yep, beautiful images. So maybe if you decide you're just going to make a new interpretation of the cube, maybe you go in and you grab an image, or let's just do cube in general. Look at some of these really beautiful graphics. Look at this thing. I mean, just really spectacular images. So I love this one. Check that out, right? So you can use elements, fine compose elements based on the theme concept you have built in order to create your packaging solution, right? The searching is at your fingertips. The beauty about a place like this particular site is these are all extremely high resolution. So if you're downloading an image from here to use as a background graphic, a main element in your packaging design, you're getting the highest of quality in order to grab that, in order to create something. So let's do lemons. Like, look at these beautiful images, man. This is like a walking advertisement waiting to happen. These beautiful muted colors with this bright yellow. If I was doing an orange or a lemon container, I would use an image like this. I mean, if I take this into Illustrator, so I'm just going to take it into Illustrator. Here it is. Here's my template, right? Here are all my lines. I'm going to go in and add a new layer. And I'm going to name this the template layer. I'm going to lock that. And I'm going to do this. And this is my drawing layer, right? Let's just take it and drop it down here. And then let me just take this and drop it in. Look at how big and beautiful this image is. So I'm just going to do like 30%. Oh man, even smaller, 30% more. There it is. Take a look at how beautiful this image is. So what I'm going to do, just for a minute, I'm going to go in and I'm going to, let's do this. I'm going to zoom in a little bit, right? Let's go to the properties. I want to make sure this is embedded. I'm going to take my box. I'm just going to draw a box right to the size of the panel of this. I'm going to take that. I'm going to hold down Shift, and I'm going to clip it. So now when I zoom out, look at that, beautiful. But I actually need my panel. So let me do this. I'm going to delete that. I need my lemons to be over here. It's the bigger panel that I need. So now I'm going to zoom in just so you can see it. I'm going to take my container drawing and draw my box. And now I'm going to hold down Shift and select those two things. I'll make my clipping mask. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. And so I'm making lemonade, right? This is going to be my container. I'm going to make a copy of it. So just for the sake of the project, I'm going to reflect this so that they're facing opposite directions, right? So now if I zoom in, I think I need, so I'm going to use my pen tool here real quick. Let me zoom out. I'm going to use my eyedropper. I'm going to sample this beautiful color that's in the image. I'm going to do this. And so there is my panel, and I can actually do a shift option and move my other panel over here. And remember, these things tuck in, right? They tuck in. So this is my primary panel. So I'm going to use these images. I'm just going to drop that in because I already have it embedded. Okay, so I'm starting to problem solve some of the beautiful colors here. So let's get in and sample like some of this really nice yellow color. So I'm going to take my pen tool and I'm going to fill that in. So my interior tuck is going to be that color, which means my color here needs to be that color too. So I'm actually just sampling from the image, right? So look how beautiful this is. So there's that. And I've got to do my last piece here because I want this top color to all be exactly the same. So there it is. And remember, this is the top tab area of my fold where everything is touching together. So let's go in here and I'm going to sample some of this really light color. So maybe like that kind of stone. And just for the sake of the process, I'm just going to drop it in right here. And you'll see what I'm doing. So there it is. There's my stone color, right? And I'm just building my packaging design. So let's go here. And I really like the stone color. So I think I'm going to make it cover all of this. And all I did was use my eyedropper and sample right from the packaging. So there it is. And so I'm building all of my elements that I need for my design color-wise right from my photograph. I'm just using my eyedropper. So look at how this is coming along. I just downloaded this image from Pexels.com, P-E-X-E-L-S, right? So I know I have really beautiful resolution. Then I used my eyedropper and I just sampled color from inside of the image and use that as my color template. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this up because I want this little panel here to be that slightly brighter color. And so now you can see if I go in here. So let's go into my layers real quick. I'm going to lock this, unlock that, and I'm going to draw a big selection box. I'm going to go into my stroke and I'm just going to thicken it up a little bit. So let's make it like that so you can really see the packaging design. So let's lock it and unlock that. And now you can see what I'm working with, right? So here's my tab. So this tab, just to complete the thoughts and the concepts, right? This tab would have expires 06, 08, 2024, right? It's the expiration that would be on the packaging. And I'm just going to drop it right in here because it would be in that front tab when you fold this container. Remember, these are the triangles. So everything in the side would be dark. And then just for the sake of the process, let's just go in and do lemonade nutritional facts. Go over to the images and I'll get some beautiful nutritional facts for lemonade. So let's take this one. I'm just going to drag it and drop it over. So it's only letting me do that. So let's do this. I'm going to click on it, see if it gives me a really beautiful image of it. Here it is right here. So let's see if it'll let me grab that. So let's just do save image as, and let's just do facts. Dump it on the desktop, see if it'll give it to me. All right, so they've got a little tricky thing going on here because they have it locked. So let's see if it'll let me do it this way. Facts. See if it'll download the actual picture for me. If it doesn't download the picture for me, then maybe I'll just make an enlarged version of it and screenshot it from there. Let's take that. It's not doing a real good download for me. So let's see if I can find another one that'll let me play around with it a little bit easier. Well, let me take this one. So let's do this. Save image as. Let's do that. All right, so I got one. Right, so here we go. I'm minimizing it. Remember, this panel is your nutritional facts panel. Look how big this thing is. I mean, it's enormous, right? So let's embed it. And this is the hardest project of the week. So that's why I'm tackling this one, just so that you can see the thought process, right? So that's got to go there. And so then I could trash this. And then I need lemonade. Let's do a scan bar. Let's just see if it gives us a scan bar. So here's one. So let's take that. And I'm going to take it, drop it in over here. I'm going to embed it. And I'm going to use my shift option, scale it down a little bit. I'm going to drop it in right under here. So they're both on the same side, right? So here we go. I think I'm going to, so let's do an eyedropper. And I think I'm going to have some fun here. And I'm going to do a stripe of color. I'm going to do shift option. I'm going to eyedropper that color, make it a little bit skinnier, bump it up so it touches. And then I'm going to bring this to front. And so now I got a little stripe of color going on there. I'm starting to build my brand. Now, Pexels is just one of the places we can go and grab some beautiful photographs, right? So the other place we can go is to get vector art. So let's go into Vecteezy. And so I'm going to do a lemonade logo. So let's just do lemonade logo. See if there's anything out there that might be a freebie, something that can help us with our creation. Here's a really nice, funky kind of, so we can close that. And it'll download for us. And so I'm going to take it and dump it over there. And so let's do this. We're going to unzip it, right? I'm going to trash this. I'm going to find the AI file, open that up. And here's my logo. I'm going to delete the green because I only want this. I'm going to copy it. Actually, I'm going to group it first. And then I'm going to copy it. I'm going to paste it here. All right, and I got to make this thing fit in my design, which is right there. Let's select these two and do a drop shadow. Ooh, so let's make this like 35%. So it's just a light drop shadow. So there it is. And remember, we got to do things like 36 ounces. And we'll make the character. Let's make it 36 point. Oh, let's make it, I don't know, 24 point. 24 point. Bold. I'm going to move this, drop it in there, hold down shift, drop it in over there. And let's go back into Vecteezy. So let's find my little Vecteezy window, not that one. And let's type in lemons. And of course, there's going to be some beautiful lemon patterns. So I'm going to take this one and download it. And so I have this concept that I'm thinking through, and now I'm building the concept in my template. Let's open that up. I'm going to take this and dump it in over there. And then I can't get rid of those things. And then let's take the EPS file, drop it in over there, ungroup. And so let's copy this thing. I'm bringing it in over here. So here are my lemons. I'm actually going to zoom out a little bit and move my lemons over here. And then I'm going to, so let's do this. I'm going to delete that, which will give me just this thing. So let's see if we can't lasso this lemon. So I'm just going to select the lemon. I'm going to do copy paste. I'm going to group it. Now I have the little lemon to drop in here. I'm going to drop it on that panel too, so you can see what I'm doing. I got to make sure it stays level. Drop that in the middle. So now I have my two lemons in the middle. I like this lemon too. So let's go in here with my lasso tool. I'm going to select just this lemon all by itself. So copy, paste, and group. And then let's rotate it a little bit because it's fun to put it on its side. And let's do Shift Option, scale it down a little bit like that. And I'm going to, let's do this, arrange, bring to front. So that's in front of that one. And then we just have to play around with the composition here a little bit. I actually think I'm going to build this composition. And then I'll make a copy of it. So I've got to bring this over to the center. And I take these two things, Shift Option, drag them over to the center, which is right about there. And so now I have to, so we have the information there. Remember, this is a side image. So let's get rid of that. And it could be a game, it could be a coupon. So let's do, let's see if we can find an image for a coupon. So we'll go in here and we'll do Google. We'll do a lemonade coloring image. Let's just see what we have. Do we got any coloring pages or anything? So let's do summertime coloring sheets. Oh man, there's some great ones. So let's see what we have here. This one's fun. And let's see if it'll let us grab it. Yep. All right, so we'll take that. And I'm going to bring my coloring book and drop it in over there. And I'm going to embed it. So there it is. I'm going to do Shift Option, scale it down. And this little panel is going to be a fun coloring book. So I'm going to kind of put it there. All right. And let's see if there is like a, I don't know, a lemonade coupon or something. So let's go here. Let's do a lemonade coupon. So images. Let's see what we have here. Lemonade coupon. Oh my gosh, look at this thing. It's so cute. Let's see if we have, okay, here's technically a coupon. Maybe that's not lemonade. So let's see if we can find, so let's do a fruit coupon. See if we can find something. Oh, here's all kinds of cool ones. So let's see here. Which one do we want to grab? Let's see if we can find something decent here. This is kind of cool. It's actually a free gift voucher, but it's got citrus all over it. So I'm going to drag that in and I'm going to bring it and drop it in here. And I'm going to click on that. I'm going to embed it. So here it is. Right, so there's my thing. Shift Option and just scale it up a little bit just to make it a skosh bigger. So it's about, I want to make it about as big, maybe just a skosh bigger. So let's zoom in. Here's my gift voucher. I'm going to take my rectangular shape tool. I'm going to draw that. Select these two things and right click it, make a clipping mask. So now I got a little coupon voucher. And so let's zoom out a little bit. And you're starting to see my packaging design coming to life, right? I got an expiration. I've got how many ounces it is. I've got nutritional facts, ingredients. I have a scan bar. This panel could be for nutritional facts, like fun facts about lemonade. It could be about the organic citrus that you use, the lemons. I like to sometimes use it for games or ads or coupon vouchers or something like that. And I need to, because remember the way this thing folds, I need to do this. So let's select this. Actually, let me see if I can take this thing. I'm going to make a copy of it, move it over here. because I want to take the text out of the logo. So let's ungroup it. Let's see if it'll let me delete certain things. All right. Well, it's going to take the white out of there, which I wasn't in love with, but I guess I can live with it because I need the other elements in this thing. So let's do this. So you can see what I'm doing. Let me zoom in. And I got to get rid of these last few little lingering pieces. And that's because I am creating a textual logo, the logo all by itself. See if I can zoom in. I got to get this little green shape out of there. Delete, delete, delete. All right, zoom out. So now I have just the text all by itself. So now I can group it. And I'm actually going to zoom out just a skosh because I need this. Object arrange, bring to front. I need it to be in the tab area and at the bottom, I think. So let's take this. I'm going to do Shift Option, scale it down just a skosh, kind of drop it into the lemon. And so now I can drag it over there. So I got the name kind of in there. And I always like to also put the name on the bottom, just in case when you fold it, you still see it. And actually, I don't need it on this one because I have it on this one. All right, so I have my design coming along. And I have everything I need. So let's just double check. We have nutritional facts, we have scan bar, we have how big it is, we have the main branding. Oh yeah, so let's do, we have to write lemonade because I decided this was going to be a lemonade thing. It says citrus on it, but we need it to say lemonade. And let's use our eyedropper. Grab this green, no stroke. And so let's make this a little bit smaller. Let's do an outer glow. Let's make it white. So you'll definitely be able to see it. Let's do normal. You want to make it a little bit bigger. Yeah, I think I need it to be normal. Click OK. Add a little stroke to the outer edge of this thing, the outside shape. Let's make it 1.5. Let's make it like 1.5. All right, there it is. Let's zoom in a little bit. Now I'm going to show you a little trick. If you take this and you copy it and you paste it in place, you'll get a little thicker glow out of it. I just got to give it a minute. There it is. So let's copy this. Actually, I can do it this way. Let's click this, do Shift Option. We'll drag it over. We'll center align it right about there. Zoom out. I always love to rotate things, so let's do this. Let's hold down Shift. Let's go about that far. And I got to get rid of the copy. So I'm just letting it render because I haven't saved it in a while, so it takes a minute to get this thing to render. And then we'll rotate this one. thing is struggling a little bit today. So let's save it. And so let's say, it's all about the concept, right? So let's say we're in Vecteezy again, Vecteezy, and we want like yellow lines. Let's see what kind of funky vector shapes we can get. And look at this one. It's beautiful. Let's grab this. I'm going to download it. I could trash this one. I could trash this one. I could trash this one. Right? So I'm building upon a theme. I'm working on the same theme and kind of working through my process, my concept. I'm going to unpackage that, trash that, double click here. Here's my EPS file. I'm going to open that up in Illustrator. And I got this beautiful pattern here. So what do we got for this? All right, so we need to ungroup. I got to get rid of that. What do I have here? I'm trying to see what shapes are what. All right, so now I'm going to copy this. First, I'll group it, and then I'll copy it, and I'll save. And then let's make sure my layers are here, so I'm on the right layer. Let's paste that. And look at the waves. So let's just say, look at how we could take some of these elements and just create the coolest thing. I'm going to blow this thing up just so you can see how cool it is. Just really cool pattern, really cool shape. What if we just keep blowing it up? Keep blowing it up. So there it is. I'm going to bring it down so you can see the shape in all of its glory. And so let's do this. Arrange, send to back. So there it is behind all of these shapes. So I'm going to go into, I'm going to find, so let's move it just on top of some of this stuff. So there it is. And look how beautiful. You could really create something very interesting. So if I hold down Shift, scale it to the edge, hold down Shift, scale it to the edge. And now you have this like really in-depth kind of thing I have going on here. And so starting to really build just a beautiful packaging design. So look at the complexity of this, using building upon a concept, lemons, which means yellow, yellow patterns, images, photographs, understanding the panels of the sides, doing all of that to build a beautiful packaging solution that I would just save as a PDF. Make sure that you're giving me this file when you're giving me the 3D, if you want to do the 3D. That is not a requirement, but many students have started doing some of that 3D stuff. So I just want to make sure that you make sure you give me this flat version so I can see exactly what you did. Oh, that's really big because I have the glow on it. So here's a really good thought process. This is the most complex of the shapes we're doing. So I hope this 50-minute lecture really hits the mark on the thought process of packaging. And I actually think I would probably go in here and clip this, move the clipping mask down. This is a clipping mask. So I'm just using direct select to make sure that I don't get any extra lingering stuff here. So you can see what I'm doing. Let's see if I need that shape. Just trying to shrink them all down so I don't have anything too crazy hanging out here. So you see this shape? I'd actually probably get rid of that. And so now I have it all clipped inside of the container. Look how beautiful that is. I mean, it's a happy little accident when you get certain things that are coming out pretty cool. I probably would. Let's go into properties. I think I might trash the glow because it's dominating the image a little bit too much. So here's my container now. So I have my pieces. I probably would move this over a little bit over here, line it up to nutritional facts. And I think I might even get rid of this line. So I have something a little bit more like that, which I think is beautiful. So there's all my patterns, all the things I have going on with my container design. I feel really good about this one, the way it's kind of structured and set up and what it looks like. Let's see here. Let's take these and now we can apply a drop shadow. Let's make it a little darker, like 55%. So there it is. Then we can make a copy of it, move it here, shrink it down a little bit, like right about there. I'll drop that in right about there. I might take this and this and this, 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 this. Bump it up a little bit. There we go. All right, voila. I've got pretty much the framework of my lemonade all into my container design. It took me about 50 minutes, but I also kind of knew what I wanted to do before I got started. So that certainly helps the process a little bit, is when I have a concept before I start getting going here. But maybe this should be white. There it is. And voila, my juice container design. So hopefully this inspires you, kind of gives you some pointers on where to grab resources, what you need to do to build your layered solution. And hopefully this just inspires you to where assets are, how to come up with a concept, build on a theme, and understanding scale and proportion and how the template works and how you could build a really thoughtful solution. I'm going to stop the recording so that we can work on our projects and watch it. So